Saturday night, right? Yeah, so this time around we started a bit different. We're like doing a bit of because it's sports nights, right? We need to like start like moving around, correct? Because I guess right now a lot of people are having cabin fever, right? So today we got it's our special edition because we are doing it on Saturday. So those who actually could join us on a weekend crowd can come and join us as well. Okay, I hope you all like the music and dancing with us, huh? All right, so if you like it, no, please help me like and share this Facebook live sessions because we have a lot of great stuff is coming. And remember to share this live session as live, no, share this, all right? Not open a watch party, because later on we can't track your questions, okay? We have a lot more to come. And also today we actually have very, very special Facebook giveaway. Okay, so I don't want you to miss this as well. Okay, so before I begin the sessions, right, just in case you are wondering what is Ministry of Adventure about, we are actually a sports media company. All right, we provide sports related content and marketing services to sports industry. All right, so in short, it's like more like a sports travel lifestyle content. Yeah, so to add values to our audience as well. Okay, because we know that like we all like sports lover and we can't go out, right? What's there for us right now, right? Other than waiting to we only like we what else we can do other than watching like Netflix, right? So we hope that that's why we MOA, we hope Ministry of Adventure, we hope to have this live sports night series, right? Is also to support the sports industry, as we know that many sports merchants got hit, and also even travel industry as well. Okay, so we want this side to be a platform for people get to know more what is the sports vendors or sports companies have are doing, in this COVID-19, right? So that you all can also get to enjoy and consume some of the benefits as well. Okay, right. So please help me go and like our Ministry of Adventure page and follow us. Remember to type the C first because we have a lot more upcoming great updates for you all. And we all knows that like Facebook right now is very crowded. So that's why we don't want you to miss this. Okay, so please help us to like our page, follow, and put see first. All right. So, all right. So if you just came in, I saw a lot of nice faces. Hi, Chickbone. Thanks for being our top fans today. I mean, like, and Sufyan as well. Simon, hi, nice to see you. And we have to see you all today. I sure for you, you are eligible to access to our care pack and get a virtual cards to access to our merchants, lifetime access, full library of content, courses, video cheat sheets, and also sports information. So every episode, right, we actually will consolidate new bonus from a different sports and travel industry. Okay, for you to get it. All right, just scan the QR code and just register for that line. Then this is what you're gonna have. Membership is just only $2 stuff as well in this COVID-19. All right, so values is more than money. Like you better faster get out of it. Yeah, because we the price. Okay, all right. So I want to do a big shout out to our sponsor. Okay, this episode, we very blessed to have Trees a Crowd sponsoring free top of a legacy dark chocolate ice cream to our audience today. As you know, my dear friend, who is the owner for this company, he knows that most of us are having cabin fever, so he decided to give us some ice cream to make us happy. Okay, so thank you so much to Trees a Crowd. And how do we win this ice cream actually? Not just ice cream. And we have even a pair of $500 like vouchers to go trips with Beyond Expeditions, which Scott is gonna share more about it. I think it's amazing. $500 off, man. And also we will actually give you a travel hacks cheat sheet, all right? Because I think this is a good chance for us to plan for our trip, right? Especially in the post COVID-19. All right, we are giving out to 3 lucky winners today. Okay, so what you need to do is to like and follow Ministry of Venture. All right, share this Facebook Live and also tag 3 friends and comment, I want to travel on this MOA Facebook Live. Then you can stand a chance to win this. Today, we will talk about what's the purpose of traveling. All right, so this is especially for most of a lot of people can relate to this because we some of us, we do travel. I'll share a bit more about our first guest speaker. Right, his name is Scott, who is the founder from Beyond Expedition. Scott is also my good friend, and he's a seasoned backpacker since 19 years old. Come on, 19 years old, most of us are studying, right? Yeah, but Scott's already started his traveling journey. So after go through so many countries, I remember he told me they had to get jaded with the mountain and lakes and those sightseeing experience. All right, so he found his path. However, he found himself right diving deep into this inner regions of Mongolia and India at the age of 27. Such a young age, man. Yeah, so he set up his own travel agency companies called Beyond Expedition Sing, and not just bring people to traveling around, experience the beauty of the place. He even brought a group of people to hike, to walk this 800 km across the Gobi Desert. All right, and this is amazing, and it's featured in a lot of news, as you can see in Straits Times, Dian He Zhao Bao. He even raised funds for Singapore Cancer Society. Such a great guy, man. Right, let's hear. We were looking forward to hear more from him. All right, so let's have a look of a short video clip, okay, to see what and his company do. Okay, all right. So can we get a video up? Okay, some technical glitches. All right, so can we have a video? Thank you. Okay, so while we are buffering, please like and share our Facebook Live. All right, so if you all really like to see Scott later and want to hear more from him, please help me click like. All right, so let's welcome our good friend Scott. All right, so yay, Scott's coming. Okay, Scott, you need to unmute yourself. You need to unmute yourself, please. Thank you. Hello, hello. Scott, you need to help me unmute yourself. The audio is still muted. Cool. Yeah, sometimes right, StreamYard has this problem, huh? All right, so while Scott is handling his audio,
Sorry.
please type your questions to him. If you have any questions, hey, it's okay, it's okay. We are very glad to see you. The audience here are very excited to see you, man. Yeah.
Hi
So
guys,
Scott, how are
how's
you,
everybody
man?
doing? I'm doing great, man. Check out my base camp. I'm all alone here, and this is a two-man's tent. I still have one more space, so I mean, the lucky person who get to stay throughout the entire live video will get to be chosen to join me for tonight. Too spacious
Wow, you
inside.
guys hear that? If you want this, right, click type base camp, so we can track you and then contact Scott to enjoy this benefit from him as well. Hi Scott. Hey Scott, do you remember, right? My first question to you, do you remember when was the last time we met?
Wow, testing my memory, huh? Um, give me a few seconds. The first time, oh yes, I remember. The first time I met you, it was at Tiong Bahru, and of course my favorite cafe, which will be Toast Box, for those who know me very well. Yeah, that's my usual hangout spot. Yeah, so Toast Box at Tiong Bahru. Am I right?
I remember because I feel that this circuit breaker is like so long. Like I was like losing my social life.
Yeah, can totally feel that,
Yeah,
man.
it's good to yeah, so yeah. I remember we were talking about like your previous kayaking expedition. Hey, some
Yeah,
technical glitches, huh? Okay, so while yeah, So a bit lag, huh? So continue to share. It's okay. Continue to share.
Can you guys hear me? Okay. Seems like there's a little bit of a technical glitch over here. I think it's gonna get better sometime. So just hold on for a while, guys. So yeah, for those who know me very well, Toastbox is one of my favorite hangout space in Singapore. Like, I can even visit Toastbox for like, I think sometimes five times in a day. It's crazy, you know. And that you can imagine how many times I drink, how many cups of coffee I drink in a day. It's crazy. I'm a caffeine addict, and I really need coffee to keep the creativity going, you know. So imagine when I'm in Mongolia, and how am I gonna get coffee, you know? So thanks to Toastbox, they sell those kind of takeaway sachets in their store. So sometimes I will just bring a couple of them along with me on the trip, and just pour hot boiling water into it, and then solve all the problem. Yeah, solve the caffeine requirement for the day to keep the activities going.
Hey, I'm back. I actually hear you talking, but I'm actually drop up to the backstage, you know. Yeah. But maybe I think your star power too strong already. Too handsome already, I cannot take it. Yeah. Yeah. So Scott, just now actually asking you, right, do you remember we talked about the kayaking expedition for your charity expedition?
Yeah, that was last summer. I still remember.
Yeah,
Wow.
so that amazing. How much you raised after this? Exactly at that time.
Well, let's say I would like to say this current this solo paddling expedition was it happened last summer, and I was really fortunate because it was my second solo charity expedition that I have done, and I managed to raise a total of about 6,295 Singapore dollars. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
Whoa, that's very impressive.
Association Singapore. Yeah, so I was really fortunate to have so many supporters who believe in my cause, which is basically embarking on adventure expeditions while still doing good and giving back to the less fortunate. Yeah.
Wow, that's very, very amazing and impressive. Thank you for your kind loving heart to actually contribute to them as well. And also, I want to take this chance, right, to share with the audience, right. Scott actually is the one that referred me to this Down Syndrome Association to do rock climbing for them. And the kids are amazing. They are really they are very, very talented. And but just that they need a bit more attention and patience in it, which is Scott's doing a good job. You are not just I know that this is your first time kayaking also, correct?
Well, I mean, a couple of times, but I'm not a pro kayaker. Yeah, but I still managed to survive. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful and inspired by you, you know, because that time I remember when you shared with me, right, it's just an idea. But right now you already done that and even being featured and raised the money and give it to Down syndrome. Amazing. Okay, so today, right, I also just realized that, right, like during your trips, right, and I saw some photos that time, and I remember, right, like because today our topic is about traveling,
Yeah.
right, I and then I realized that my polytechnic senior, right, is actually your travel buddy.
Oh, who is this guy or who is this girl?
Yeah, shall we guess who is this guy? Guys, for audience here, please type the name if you know. Right, we have this special guest, who just happened to be my senior and also your travel buddy. All right, so let's welcome Henry. All right, hi.
Hello.
Yay!
Yeah, I just want to pick up on your point that Scott is really inspiring. Like, he has always shared a lot of travel ideas, a lot of ways to, do a lot of good in society, and he don't just say it; he always make it into action. So I think that is really incredible.
Yeah, let's treat like, huh?
Yeah.
You like this? All right. So Henry, I'm very, very honored to have you. Actually, I'm quite stressed
Hey, no,
because
no, 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 no.
you are the Mediacorp Yes 933 DJ. Better host than me.
No. I
Yeah.
just blabber nonsense on air.
Yeah. Please be kind to me also today.
No.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm still learning also, right? Yeah. All right. So for those
Mhm.
who are watching, right, if you love this like topic and our two handsome guy over here, right, please also share this post so that more people, right, able to get benefit and get inspired by it. So that after COVID-19, we can all go travel together with this new inspiration. All right. Okay. So since both of you are here, I actually have a questions to ask you all. All right. So
Shoot.
how do y'all met? Actually, how do you meet each other?
Oh,
Henry, you can go.
we have actually met each other since way back in secondary school. Like we first met when we were in Ahmad Ibrahim secondary. So if anyone watching is from AI, hi. Yeah. We're ancient
Hey,
batches of AI.
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah,
yeah,
and then so we met in class and we knew each other since then lah. So we grew up from secondary school and then afterwards we went on to different polytechnics and life caught up a bit in the center and then afterwards we reconnected because of travel and then he was just sharing with us this really incredible idea of doing good while traveling while spreading the word for cancer. So that really got me very interested and really I really wanted to be part of that, so we reconnected because of that and we have been traveling a lot since then lah.
Yeah,
wonderful.
it
And
was
this is like,
yeah, it's
sorry,
really
Scott,
amazing.
to share.
Yeah, it's really amazing to have Henry who actually also believe in our cause and embark with us on this journey to raise funds and awareness for the cancer patients, and not just for one time but actually two times, and the third time is
Yeah.
coming, which will happen most probably in February 2021. Hopefully.
Hopefully by then, yeah, the CB restrictions, COVID will be gone by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to look at it as well. I mean, really hope this COVID-19 situation get better. Yeah. So
Yeah.
how is COVID-19 treating you guys so far?
I really think COVID and CB is a pain in the, can I say S on Facebook Live?
Sure.
Yeah.
We are travelers.
Yeah. So I really think it's a lot of inconvenience. It's really a huge disruption to our lives, to businesses, to everybody in general. So it's really irritating. But I think we have already gone through 2 months worth of circuit breaker, and we are seeing it starting to show some light at the end of the tunnel. And every day that we go through CB is a day closer to the end of COVID. So yeah, let's just take heart in that lah.
Yeah, correct. I totally can feel that. I like the words like the lights in the end of the tunnel. This is what I always
Yeah.
tell myself and tell my team of that. Yeah, to give us hope, and faith. Yeah, in going through this hard time. Scott, how about you? How does COVID-19 treating you so far?
Well, for me, I always like to have this belief that life is all up to us in terms of the decision we made. So to many people, it may seem like a very challenging time, but to some other people out there, they may feel that this is actually a very good opportunity. So what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to suggest is actually let's look more on the positive side instead of getting trapped in the mass thinking of this negative vortex, which will keep bringing us further down and down and down. And let's try to get out from this mass negative thinking. And then there's so many positive things that we can focus on. That's so important, such as spending more time with the family members, and for business owners like myself. Although this is definitely a big hit, especially for those who are in the travel industry, but there's always so many possibilities out there for us to seek and to discover. This is the best time,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, especially you don't have to attend to so many clients, right?
Yeah.
When,
Actually, that's really good as well, because I think in this period, like even though it's really not a good thing, but we gain a lot more time to ourselves. We gain a lot more time with the people that matters around us. So I think that in a sense, it's a blessing in disguise. Like, it also, give the environment a chance to restart. Like, I just was reading a report recently that the CO2 levels are at all-time low. That that the whatever that ozone hole is closing up, and there are a lot of other things that are good that's coming out from this situation. So I think it's really like what Scott said, a matter of perspective. If you can shift that to feel a lot better, I mean, if you can shift that, you'll feel a lot better about the situation.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. Yeah. Wow, Scott, you have your biggest fans here to support you. Hi, Lil.
Oh, Elio.
Yeah. Stepping to the point, I also want to also share that at first, right, when the COVID-19 happened, right, yeah, there's a lot of people asking me what to do about it. Yeah, because like they always like go travel with me and stuff like that, and then I say, oh, it's gonna be bored, things like that. But guess what? No, now I chat with them most of the time, right? Most of them are saying that I'm actually upskilling myself, watching webinar to learn new things, learn about like how to
Cooking,
cooking. Some
making
even
bubble tea.
learn about bushcrafting. That's very interesting.
Oh,
That's so
Yeah.
Scott. That is in Scott's arena.
Hey, Scott, maybe you can teach us some bushcrafting also. Do some live show also.
in a couple of months. In the
Yeah,
midst of
yeah, looking for that. And this is like actually I feel that it's like a once in a decade or century time of opportunity. If you missed it, right? It's totally we'll just go back to our red race. We don't have chance to upskills ourselves as well. Right. I like that. I like that tree. Yeah, Scott.
Well, who wants to
Okay.
make a fire with me?
I
Nice.
just saw Elio's question. Who is your inspiration, Scott?
Who's my inspiration?
Oh
Well,
yeah, who is your inspiration, Scott?
Well, there are actually many figures, to be honest. Of course, since Elio asked this question, I have to say, Elio is one of my biggest inspiration. He's also my mentor. He has supported me. No, legit, for real, man. I mean, he's like 60, 62 years old with a wealth of experiences, and I've always seek his advices for the past 2 to 3 years, and he's always give me fantastic ideas and always directing me the right way lah. He don't like enforce me to think a certain way, but he respect me by listening and communicating with me rather than just blabbering away like which most senior citizens will do so. So it's really incredible and an honor for me to have met Elio from who's a huge advocate for the Singapore Cancer Society. He's also a double cancer survivor, by the way.
Yeah, so good.
Wow.
Very
Wow, that's very
inspirational.
inspirational. Hi, Leon, and thank you for joining us today as well to share your inspiration as well. Thank you. All right, so today we are talking about like the purpose of traveling. Okay, so I think we need to understand ourselves first as a traveler, and before we know our purpose also, right? So we actually have some since it's a Saturday night, right? Let's play some game. We actually have some quiz for you.
Bring it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Okay, can we have that up? So now this time around, right? Actually, I want to do something different. So since you both are travel buddies, right? Why not you all guess each other? So Scott guess for Henry's answer. Henry will answer Scott's answer. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
okay, audience over
I think
here,
I
you
will
may
win
enjoy
this
the-
one. Because on our trips, right, like we always say I'm the one who speaks Scottish, like as in SCOTT, Scottish. Yeah, so I am pretty confident in knowing what he will choose, lah.
Okay, we'll see.
Oh, let's see. The results will show everything, huh? Can we have the first question? All right. So going on holiday is more often. You guys will travel by what? By plane, by car, or by train, or both. So while you're thinking, so the audience over here, like you may join us as well to find out what kind of traveler are you. All right. So don't forget to like and share and tag your friends, so that more people can join and find out more about themselves as well. Okay. So if you guys are ready for your answer.
Yeah, I'm gonna go first. So Henry's answer would definitely be C.
Aha.
You sure? Yeah, I actually love traveling by the seaway, by sea lines. So I love being on boats and trains actually. Yeah, and
Nice.
train is really interesting. Train is really interesting because like, you get to go through a lot of different parts of the country and then you get to really see that country flash you by. Yeah, that's why I really like to sit by the window and like just watch a country on the train. Yeah, and I love the sea, so train and boat.
Okay. How about you? How about you two, Scott?
I think he is a sea as well.
Wow, really travel buddy, huh? Even the transportation also the same, okay? Okay, let's try. Let's go for our questions too. Okay, there are more to come. There are more to come. So while choosing a holiday with a travel agent, okay, so Scott, you have to put that aside. I know that you're also a travel agent. So you go with a travel agent. So you are more likely to opt for A, B, or C.
Wow. Oh, if I'm a client myself, I would go for.
Are we guessing each other or?
Guessing each other. Guessing each other.
Oh, Henry. Okay, I think Henry will go for a C. From what I know about.
All right.
Wow, you all really know each
Wow.
other, huh?
Yeah, because I don't like my travels to be like super planned. I just like a skeleton, like detail of what I'm gonna do during my travels, and then everything else, right? I like it to be full of surprises. Like I like to go to different places where I've never been before, experiences that I've never done before. So I don't like it too planned out. So I think I'll go with C.
Nice, nice. No wonder you follow Scott's company, because he planned out everything for you very nicely, So come
Righty.
on, how about Scott?
Scott.
Wait.
Scott will go
Henry check for
for.
Scott. Yeah.
I think Scott is C as well, lah. He's a
think
man of
Uh-huh.
adventure.
Is that right? Is that right, Scott?
Answers are almost the same, man. Yeah,
Wow.
my answer is C. But I mean, the most ideal answer for myself would be is definitely not reflected here. I usually have no itineraries or whatsoever. I would just buy the plane ticket and just fly there on my own and just maneuver myself around. But I think if I only have these three answers to go, I'll go for C. So Henry, you got me right here.
Yeah, man, that's good. Yes, can we have a
Brother.
question 3? Really buddy, this guy. Wow. Let's see. I'm expecting something different. Let's see. What's the last thing you do before leaving home and go on holiday? A,
Henry,
B, C.
Henry, definitely nothing. So it's an A.
I am
Okay.
always in a mad rush for things. Like I don't leave a note. Like who am I kidding? Really, I don't leave a note and I don't check for hazard. So yeah, nothing A.
And
But you would tell your audience that, oh, I'm going to a holiday, right, in your radio station.
Uh-huh.
I can because you just have to try out this test. Just send Henry a message, and probably his reply to you will be in a week or a month time. So that explains how busy.
Okay,
he
I'm
is.
also like that. I am not someone who is really looking at my screen all the time and I reply messages. So it's really if you WhatsApp me or Telegram me, right? It's more like an email lah.
Wow, that's very YOLO, huh? Yeah. How about like to Scott? Henry, what do you think about Scott?
I think he definitely won't write a note. So B is out.
Yeah, so right, man.
C and A. I think A lah.
Scott, is that
We are
right?
both not the most like
Yeah,
we are more impromptu a person. So like we are usually always like that.
yeah. I think A for me. You're right, bro. Again.
Sounds like y'all are the kind of like tomorrow let's go for a trip, let's go. Like y'all don't need to like wondering or worry about things,
Yes.
Steady. That's
That's
good,
the
that's good.
best.
So your ideal holiday, right, would be in what type of accommodation? There's one club, resort, or bed and breakfast, and also open air.
Okay, I think
Make your
Henry will be B for sure.
Holiday as in like leisure holiday, right? Like not where we are out in the wild adventuring and all that, right?
top of your mind.
On top of the mind,
Mm.
Okay, I have my answer. Scott was
So-
going for what,
Scott was going to be.
B
yeah. That's yeah, I went for B.
Whoa.
from all over the world, chit chatting.
Yeah, I like people lah. Yeah.
How about your guess, Henry? Your guess to Scott?
A lot of people will probably guess C, camping and trekking.
He's doing it
But-
now, right? At home.
Oh yeah,
But
always. That's my base
but
camp.
I think he is also a very club resorty person. So should I go
Something
for
we
A
don't
or
know
C?
about
Okay
him,
lah, A lah.
Really?
Yeah,
You sure, Henry? He's staying in a camp right now at his home. Who will go and set up a camp at home?
No, I feel like because that is his job, like it has already become his way of life and something he earns a living from. So if he's going to go on a holiday, I think he will choose a club resort.
club
Scott,
resort.
is that right? Scott, you
Well,
can't lie in front of the audience, huh? Scott, is that right?
I'll give Henry a benefit of doubt. Half right, half right. I mean,
Half
as much
right.
as adventuring, like camping in the wilderness, sometimes I do like some moment of getaway in a nice hotel, just away from technology, and just crash at the pool for like hours and reading my book while sipping on coconut. You know, it's a very nice and relaxing experience.
Wow. So I take it as a right answer. Okay, that's good. All right.
Half right lah. Huh?
Top right, Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see our question 5. What is your preferred choice for eating during your holiday?
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. I have my answer.
Okay, Henry is definitely A for sure. He likes quality restaurants with
Huh?
good quality food, organic, gluten-free, all those kind of stuff, and high quality coffee as well. So I think that
You're right. I love my coffee, but my answer was B.
wow.
Oh,
Because
finally
like
we
even
saw
though
some
I
differences
appreciate
between the buddies.
I appreciate a good quality restaurant like on a day to day, but like if I'm on a holiday, right, I think a small like a local eatery is always where you can have a very good peek at the local culture,
Mm.
try their food, try their meet with locals, have conversation. So I think I would almost always choose local cafes, local eateries. Yeah.
All right.
Nice,
Okay.
support local business, right?
And Scott would go for B as well.
Actually, you're right. The answer is B also. As much as I like to a little bit of wilderness essence in my travel, but sometimes, or rather most of the time, I go for B because of course it's convenient and you get to actually discover all the local delicacy, which are usually all pretty much available in today's with today's advanced technology. You just have to swipe your phone and then search for a few seconds, and then all of these trip advisors top rated eateries will just pop up. You just have
Yeah.
to, which is very
Yeah,
convenient.
and like when you go to Vietnam, you wouldn't I mean, you probably would, if given a choice to go to a quality restaurant, but more often than not, you will really taste the local culture in like their street food and in local eateries. So like I think that is the choice that we will go for lah.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I like that you guys are supporting the local business as well. You know, like I guess most of the countries people really love the guys are very welcome. You'll come and eat my food, man. Hi. We have more people come into the house. I want to take this chance to say hi to our audience here. Hi Li Ming, hi Haro, hi Huat, hi Lai Feng. Thanks for watching. All right, so if you have any questions, we actually have 3 more to go to ask these 2 handsome chaps over here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask
Wow.
so that we got to ask some sensitive question for them. Oh wow, there's Chipo is asking this question. Where was the last place you guys returned from before cooking at home?
Individually or together? Individually, I think we have different answers.
Okay, maybe individually.
Henry,
Yeah, individual.
The last place I came back from was Malacca. It was a very chill, no plan, just with friends, travel, just to unwind trip lah. But with Scott, it was our frozen expedition to Mongolia Taiga region. It's really cold. It's the first time ever that I've experienced a climate that is
minus?
negative 20 over on average. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, we actually have that later on, like in the slides, right, to show. So because like Scott's right, loved it to
Yeah.
actually share to the audience as well. Yeah, Scott, how about you? Where have you been like before you cook up at
So
home?
before this met this, I was actually in Nepal, South Nepal. This place called Lumbini, which is the birthplace of Buddha. So I was staying in a Korean monastery for about a week. So basically on kind of meditation trip. So it wasn't more like a trekking trip. I mean I've done that a few years back when I was in Nepal. So this was my second time in Nepal. So the whole intention was just going on a digital detox and just to be more mindful and spiritually. Yeah, it was a really good trip before everything.
Namaste.
Yeah, namaste.
Actually reminds me of my long going trip that I wanted to go so long, right? My Vipassana trip. I wanted to go, but I actually haven't had a chance. You actually reminded me to really have a look and to plan to my calendar as well. Yeah. All right. So let's come back to our question 6. Haha, we're coming closer right now to the end. Then we get to see the result.
Day trip.
You decide to go for a day trip. How do you organize it? All right. A, B, or
Ah.
C. Stay close to hotel, explore villages,
Wow.
or contact an official guide, like contact BE, huh?
Wow.
I think
Oh, this is really fun.
I got 2 answers. I like 2 how?
For me or for you?
For me, yeah.
If that's the case, I think you probably will go for A. That's for sure. Am I right?
I thought you would say C. I thought you would say C because he always go trip with
I
you.
actually like B and C. Like because I like the impromptu-ness of like meeting new friends, having conversations, exploring places together, So I like B. And certain things you can't just do on your own. So like you engage someone who knows the place really well to bring you around. So I like B and C. So that's my answer.
Wow.
Oh, right. So there's something new to know each other for today, for these questions.
Bro, I think tonight you need to come to my house, man. Because almost here. I need more time to understand you much deeper.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so Henry, what do you think about Scott? What's his answer?
Scott is a definitely B person. I think he would definitely go take his backpack, meet new people, go on an adventure trip. So I think B is very him.
Yep, that's right.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Scott, you are you are studied by Henry a lot. Today we know that already. Okay, question 7. While on holiday, you prefer A, B, or C? Wow.
Oh.
Scott, your trip got actually have all, it's hard. This question is actually quite hard.
Yeah, I think different things have very different lessons and things to offer. So if I were to only choose one,
Yeah.
Save you from
okay
all
lah.
this.
I think I have an answer.
Oh, for me?
So who want to go first?
For myself. Okay, for you, judging by your namaste-ness, right, I think it's C lah.
Recharge your battery.
I have 2 answers. So C is one of them. You're right. And what's the other one?
A lor.
That's right. Come on. Yeah, like A and C lah.
A, right?
Yeah.
Yay! So both are correct, huh? Yes,
Yep.
yes. Very good, very good. Okay, question 8, our last question. Before returning home from after your holiday, what is the last thing you would do? Wow, this is not easy also, huh? Like buy souvenirs. Usually, most people would like to chiong for souvenirs as well. Visit the local shop. Most people will do that also. Take couple of last photos for Instagram. I guess as a Yes 933 DJ will do that also, huh? Okay. So I'm not going to disturb you. Come on, shoot.
Okay. I think Scott is a B. If you've been to his house, right? Yeah, you will definitely see that he is a B person.
Wow, something we don't know about Scott. Yeah, now we know.
I mean, as a matter of fact, that's actually correct. Yeah, I'm a B person now. And to justify what Henry has said, I'm just gonna show you guys around my living room. So to reinforce.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great. We are expecting
you have to go in and take a look at all the different decor stuff that he has.
Yeah, some tiger.
This calligraph thing that I hung up on my wall.
Wow. What's that?
It's just like a cloth from Rajasthan, India. Yeah, it's really cheap, like $20. And then I got this thing over here. Just give me a second.
Oh, pretty nice. Your room is pretty nice. Wow.
So this painting on a sheep skin is actually from Papua. Yeah, it's really cheap as well. I bargained it until like $30 plus. Yeah.
Very cool. We hardly see this in Singapore, huh? Wow, is that like fur or
sheepskin?
Sheepskin. Well, when you're cold, you can use it. Very nice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very exotic at your room. This I never seen a room like that, before.
Oh yeah, then things. You have like this Prayer
Yeah, I
wheels.
forgot what this is called. Yeah,
Prayer wheels. Prayer wheels.
prayer wheel.
Oh,
Okay.
usually we saw those big one, huh? Now you got a small one at house. That's cool. That's cool. Hey guys, for the audience over here, if you want to see more, please type see more. We want to see more, okay? Please type see more,
Yeah,
okay? So
Mel's in the comments is saying that your house is like a museum.
ah,
Not you got more
there's
people.
really, I agree with that. Thank you, Mel, for bringing out. That's why this is interesting. We should go for organize a tour at your house soon. Okay, come back to this A, B, and C, huh, for each other. These are our last questions before we reveal the answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Henry, for Scott after he showing around? Oh, you confirm it's B? You sure it's B?
Yeah, B, B, B. Yeah,
B, yeah? You
I
sure?
definitely say Scott is B, lor. Yeah.
Okay. Scott,
I think
how
you guys
about you?
are
Yeah.
overwhelmed by my house already, right? Until you all forgotten that Henry actually answered.
Yeah, I keep thinking about souvenir, you know. I thought he would change his answer. Okay, how about you, Scott?
We want to
Um,
see now. Tan
for
Li
Henry,
Ming.
what did you say? We want to see more now.
He wants
Wow.
to see more, yeah.
What
Okay,
do you
hold on,
want to
hold on. We want to find out the answer first. How about you think, Scott, about Henry? What, A, B, or C?
see? Mm,
Hmm.
I think his answer will probably be C, considering the fact that he's going to meet a lot of new friends during the trip. And yeah, C. Am I right?
Is that right, Henry?
I think C is definitely correct. I love
Oh yeah.
taking photos cause like I think that's a very good way to capture memories, like to make it physical, something tangible, like you know things that you see and bring it home. And I like to share stories, like part of the reason why I'm a DJ. So I think photos can really help you tell story very well. So C.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Wow, like out of like 8 questions, I think only one that is different. You guys are really travel
Amazing.
brothers. Wow, really know each other. This circuit breaker doesn't stop you all from knowing each other's up to bottom, huh? Yeah. Okay, so while we are getting our questions, our results out, Scott, do you mind to share us more because of the audience request?
Of course, man.
Like,
Go ahead.
what kind of
Come.
special things you have? Please share. Please share.
Well, I actually have a pair of reindeer antlers or horns in my room, which I actually
Whoa.
mounted it up on my wall. So, I mean, right now it's not convenient for me to go to my room because the connection will be distorted. And
Okay.
I also have an owl's wing, one side of the wing, but it's in the office right now. So I took it to the office. And the rest is for you to find out when you come to my house. Yep.
Cool, cool. Just now there's Yong Sing, right, mentioned about your Mongolia hat. Do you have that?
Yeah, what is that actually? I don't even know.
The Mongolia hat?
Yongxi.
Yeah,
Is it have
considering
the horns? Is it have the horns or?
you've been to Mongolia twice, right? And I mean, I've been to Mongolia more than 20 times. And what is a Mongolian hat, man? Can you explain?
Yong Sing, please share us the photo if you have, no, so that we can verify with Scott, huh? All right, so we got our answer. Actually, you both share what's wait before that. What special thing is in your toilet? Do you have any special thing in your toilet? Do you put like
Metal tongue. Wow, lots
some
of things, man. Like,
sheepskin? Okay, sorry, Mel. Not convenient to go to toilet now. Because right now we are in the show. Later, no connection. Okay, you can join him for the toilet later after this. For visit. Okay, no other purpose. Visit.
toilet has everything including connection. But well, probably we'll take this offline. Okay, Mouse.
Yeah. Okay, we got you. All right, so we got your answer. I mean, our team got a result. So, what type of travelers are you? You are just concerned traveler.
Huh?
So, what is
Concerned.
concerned travelers? All right, let me go to the page. Concerned travelers is actually interesting. It's like you actually someone that actually you care about the environment, you care about the local, and
Ah.
when we talk
Okay.
about like traveling, you first thing first, right? You will like to local exchange to meet the local people because you care about the culture and the local behaviors and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, so you like to
Concern
immerse
in
in it.
that sense. I was
Yeah,
I was thinking like, we are very worried.
Yeah.
yeah, correct. What is important to you is meeting others for meaningful exchanges, and also you know that the planet is precious, and you like to look after it, and you have actually learned a lot from others as well. Is that true? Is that true?
Yeah, I think
That's cool.
traveling is a very like I always see ourselves see travelers as sponges, you know, absorb everything that the world has to offer to you, and hopefully we retain it lah.
Nice,
And I
nice.
think traveling with a lot of different people, like traveling with Scott and the people from Gobi expedition, the Mongolia Tiger expedition, like from every individual, right? They have something to offer, and they have something like the life lessons and their way of thinking,
Yeah, yeah.
their the environment and caring for that they will always have some conversations lah. Yeah.
Nice. Is that Scott? What do you think? Are you a constant traveler? So it's like, is that true for you?
Well, more or less there. So for me personally, I believe that I mean, when we ask this kind of question in terms of what kind of traveler are we, right? We have to draw the line between whether someone is whether you're a tourist or are you a traveler, because being tourist is basically just, you know, most of us will know, just hopping on a bus, going for sightseeing tours, and probably just being brought to a few stores and buying some souvenirs, and that's the end of the trip. Or maybe probably just having some good food that the country has to offer. But being a traveler is totally different from being a tourist. And of course, when you're a traveler, then you may end up being a constant traveler. Of course, if you are a tourist, then the chances of being a constant traveler, the likelihood is very low lah. Yeah. And for me, I feel that.
I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with like, you know, going to different cities, cafe hopping, just, you know, doing what everybody do in terms of being a tourist. But I think like what I recently shared on my IG is that that traveling, getting to see the world, right, is one of the best thing about being human. It's one of the best thing of the human experience, you know. So I think we should take that a level higher and like, you know, just go and explore the world, see the world. Don't just look at things, like really see the things that people go through, see the world for what it has to offer, and bring all those enduring lessons home lah. So I think we can really just like take going overseas a level higher lah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I always believe that, like, because every time, right, there are people saying that, right, every time when you have problems or ever challenges you face in your life, right, you go for travel, you go for traveling, go for some getaway. When you come back, right, you actually will have a different perspective, and the worry, right, it's no longer a worry before, no longer a worry anymore. Right, right, right. Thank you for sharing this as well. So, audience in the house, right, if you would like to, you know, find out what kind of traveler are you, actually, different person have different like a type of perspective as well huh? So the quiz and the results, right, you actually can get online. Okay, you can actually simply type into the chat, right? Look at the chat, we're actually sharing the link to you. All right, you can actually try it out for yourself and look at the results and get your friends, you know, like how we did for Henry and Scott's over here, you know, to do it with you, and also that you know that this guy is really a travel buddy with you or not. All right, so this is very important to do it now. Okay, so after COVID-19, you can go travel together. Oh, cool. So come back to you, Scott and Henry. So what is the first destination, right, you would like to travel to after COVID-19, and why?
Wow. Oh, there's so many places I want to go, but to choose one,
Yeah, the first one. You only can
I
don't
think
be at
like
the first place.
everybody at okay, I think we all have places that we want to go at different phases of our lives. So I think the next, like, I believe that in our stage now, like where we don't have someone depending on us, we don't have a family yet, we don't have a wife or a daughter that are depending on us, so we can take more risk overseas. So I would choose more adventurous destinations lah. So I don't have one place, but like maybe adventurous travels like Kazakhstan or like Papua New Guinea, like I don't know, like more adventure, like off the beaten path, North Korea kind of destinations. That would be a kind of travel that I want to go for after COVID.
Wow, that's really impressive because, you know, when we think about this first destination, people will always think of like Paris or Japan or Australia, all those big cities. It's very rare that, you know, like people would like say that, oh, I want to go North Korea. Especially after this COVID-19, people were like very fearful about things. Yeah, so wow, this
No,
really
I
gives
mean
us a
like
good perspective.
like we all can go for city travels, but we can do that anytime. Like you know, when we retire, when we don't have, when we are old, like when we are like, I think there's plenty of time for us to travel to Paris, to all the different cities. But like as we are younger, like I think we can afford taking more risks and going for more adventure travels lah. So I think at this stage in my life, that's the kind of travels that I'm looking for lah.
Wonderful, wonderful. How about you, Scott?
Well, like what Henry mentioned, this is a really challenging question because there's so many countries that is in our head that we want to tick off the bucket list. And for me myself, I'll definitely have to go back to Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and Ladakh, which is part of India, for work purposes. But I like to keep things simple, especially during this period. So I'm just gonna go wherever the wind takes me to. Yeah.
This is such a Scott thing to say. Yeah.
How can the wind hit you,
You know,
when you're at home?
planning too much is not good because when you plan this and then this happens and then you have to come up with another plan again. So instead of worrying so much and planning so many things, just go with the flow. Sometimes life is like this, man. Yeah, and in the end, we will just ending up, getting worried for unnecessary things. So why waste the energy and time, thinking about where I want to go next? Just go wherever the wind takes you when the time is right. Yeah.
Yeah, focus on the present, which is very, very important. Something that I actually like recently. I'm listening to the podcast from Michelle Obama that she managed to like shut off all the saying and naysayer things like that, and just
Yeah.
focus on presence, because you never know. Actually, there's some beauty in the presence as well, which is a lot of people are missing out. So, okay, so
And
one
she's
thing that I
crazy.
really-
She has like a 4:30 a.m. ritual. She wakes up at 4:30 every day. Like, I don't think I can ever do that. Okay, but anyway.
That's actually
Yeah,
very
very
consistency is
inspiring. Yeah, very inspiring. Okay, all right. So both of you are talking about Kazakhstan. I realized. So you guys are really a travel buddy. I love to go to the same destination. So how many times, right? Have you been to like Kazakhstan both together before?
Together, not yet.
Not yet,
I have
right?
not been personally. Like, I would love to go there. Yeah.
Ah, I see. So both of you been to Mongolia, I guess, together, right?
yeah, twice
Yeah.
actually.
And
Yeah.
Ladakh.
Oh, nice. We actually have some photos, right? This is something that I go and stalk y'all and realize this. Wow, y'all did a lot of things. Like I see,
Yeah.
I even do like just now what the questions as like the adrenaline rush kind, adventure kind, local cuisine kind, sightseeing. I guess that one is like, with a bunch of people to do sightseeing together. So these are actually quite interesting. Could you share more about where are those places and what are the experience like? Maybe start with our Scots first.
Okay, so the top left photo, right? I'm just going to talk about the top two photos. Henry will talk about the bottom two. So the top left
Okay, sure.
is actually the boys, and this photo was taken last December in Mongolia, which we actually fundraised for Singapore Cancer Society while trekking in Taiga region, northern Mongolia, and is a lot of inspiring figures in this group. On the most left hand side of the group, the guy's name is actually called Lam. He's 62 years old, same as Elio.
Yeah.
Elio,
Mad respect for him.
yeah, Elio is in the group as well. 62 years old, double cancer survivor. He's standing on my right. I'm the guy in black. Yeah, on counting from the left, the third left. Yeah, and then we have another cancer survivor on the most right. The guy who's in orangey red jacket. His name is called Amma. Yeah, he's 30 years old, and Henry standing beside him on his left. Amazing group, very inspiring. People from all walks of life, different age. And the photo on the right is actually Henry is sitting on that left ATV. I'm on the right, showing my guns. So this photo is racing with our ATV in Ladakh, India, which happened last August summer. Yeah, so it was amazing trip indeed.
Wow, interesting. Wow. How about Henry? Henry, share yours as well. How's
Yeah,
your
it's pretty
experience like?
cool. Like, if you look at the two pictures on the left, right? The top one is the second expedition, the second charity expedition for cancer, and the bottom one was the first one. So the first one was really memorable because it was my first time to Mongolia, and I realized Mongolia is full of natural beauty. It's one of the most gifted country naturally, I feel. The dunes, the desert, the people, like Mongolia is really incredible. So this picture is taken on top of one of the sand dunes, if I'm not wrong, right? And then we were trying to pitch one of our rest spots that night on top of these sand dunes, and then we rested there. And I remember that day we had a lot of sandflies. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Everybody kena the sandflies like crazy. Like, I think the sandflies bites, right? Like, still with me like till now.
For
I
2
don't know if
years,
you can see that. Yeah, it's 2 years already. Yeah.
damn.
Yeah,
That was
so
your
that was
souvenir,
that.
huh? traveling
from the
souvenir.
first Gobi Desert trip.
So I
Yeah,
look at
and
this
then the bottom.
photos, right? Top left and top bottom, right? So the top left photo is actually the minus 35 to minus 40 degrees.
Yeah.
And then the bottom left is actually summertime in Mongolia, so it can go as hot as more than 40 degrees Celsius. So you can see the different contrast in terms of climate. It's quite crazy. Yeah. And that's what, drives us to continue doing something so crazy yet purposeful. Because at the end of the day, if it's so easy, everybody will be doing it, right? And we want to make it as challenging and impactful as possible so that we can gain the much more awareness to fight for other cause. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like parallel what cancer survivors are going through, like their journey is definitely not easy, but it's going to be easier if people are walking with them, giving them that support. So this is a parallel that we are trying to draw lah. And then on the bottom right picture, right, was also from our first trip to Gobi, and that was our last dinner there. It was a celebration of the end of our trek, and everybody were there. What were we eating? I forgot, but it's like Mongolian Korean fare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many beer do you drank, man? Like 10 or 15 bottles of beer. I can't remember.
Many, I can't remember. Oh my God,
my
Abby just pointed out something.
Yeah.
That day,
Henry is a great teacher.
that day in
Bottom left.
on the bottom left picture, right, that day was actually my birthday. I just remembered.
Oh, that's
My birthday
great.
2 years
Wow.
ago, and they gave me a birthday celebration on the sand dune.
Wow, that's really a
Right?
memorable experience. Right. I guess this is something that everybody should try once in their lifetime, because based on what you're sharing, I can like roughly visualize how fun it is. Even
You need to
despite the it makes me want to go, man.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
audience. Yeah,
Dude,
sorry.
Mongolia is amazing.
Right, audience in the house.
Mongolia is
if you-
amazing. Like there's so much to offer in terms of nature, the people, the food. Yeah, like really Mongolia, if you have the chance, right? You can engage Scott lah to bring you there and like really experience the place. It's amazing.
Great. So audience in the house, you hear that? Our Henry actually highly recommended to go to that place. I also personally want to go. I haven't been that place before. If you want to go, please type no. I want to go Mongolia. All right, so that we can quickly like follow up with you and then share with you more details about that. Right. Tom, since we are talking about Mongolia, right? I actually want to go a bit more detailed, like because it's like a country, right? To me, it's like hardly we see in on the advertisement. And I don't think that many people actually really understand their culture and their experiences. And I think most of the people that we have around us hardly go there as well. That's why we hardly talk about that. But it seems that these places actually show some mysterious beauty and yet to be discovered. And it's so raw and exotic that make people very curious about it. All right, so can we have the next slide that shows, because this is actually specially shared by Scott. Yeah, so maybe Scott, can you tell us a bit more? What is the motivations, right, for you to go to these places, and what is this culture differences from us, right, that inspired you or attract you?
Right. So Mongolia, you can also call Mongolia as the land of blue sky or the ocean of the green, especially during summertime. The first time when I was in Mongolia, it was almost 6 to 7 years ago, and I was just overwhelmed by the sense of autonomy that I felt when I was there. Especially, definitely when I was in the countryside, not in Ulaanbaatar, which is the capital, and it just feels so free, and it feels as if time is just obsolete when you're there. Like you're not looking at your watch, because if you ask your guide, what time will you reach this destination at the end of the day, your guide definitely will tell you. In Mongolia, we don't talk about time, you see, because it just isn't the way it is. We just calculate by distance. So they usually use kilometers to gauge from one point to another point. They don't say, I will get there in an hour or two, you see. So that's the beauty of Mongolia. Meaning to say also, I would advise travelers who are visiting Mongolia to have an open heart and open mind, because Mongolia is full of surprises. Anything can happen anytime. Like literally, your car can just break down, or you can even experience snowstorm during summer period. Really, this is no joke. So going there with an open heart and open mind just makes things much more simple. Like, let's don't complicate things, because by traveling with that kind of thinking or open heart, you're actually able to experience whatever the country has to offer. And the top left photo, as you can see, that's one of our clients. His name is called Austin. This was last March, which we organized a husky sledding expedition. So it was in March. It was really close to you. And however, this photo was taken in central Mongolia. You can call it like a Middle Gobi. And he was actually carrying a small little dumpling. I like to call them dumplings, the Mongolian babies, because they're really cute with red cheeks. And you can just see the little girl smiling herself away, like always constantly smiling, like 24/7, even when they're sleeping, the babies. I mean, yeah, super chubby. And they're so nomads are so hospitable, And on the photo on the right, beside Austin carrying the baby, right, you can see another small child, probably 6 to 7 years old, wearing a pink jacket, just riding on a horse in the plains on her own. Can you imagine? It's just crazy to even see this, when we were there. It's amazing. And for us, right, adults, when we are on the horse riding, sometimes we feel so afraid of falling off when we are on the horse. And can you imagine what's on the mind of these kids? I don't think they even know the meaning of fear when they're on the horse, because
I think we are still on tricycles at the age.
yeah, and all this is exactly, and all this is simply natural to them. It's just like their bicycle, basically. Yeah. And the rest of the photos showcase the different sites and culture and people and animals you will see in different parts of Mongolia. Yeah, like you can get to see reindeer nomads in the northern part of Mongolia, and even eagle hunters, the Kazakh eagle hunters in the west part of Mongolia. Is amazing. And bottom right hand corner, we actually organized a few yoga expeditions a few years back. This happened actually during summer. Of course, other season will be way too cold to do yoga. And what's really amazing is the first time when I go to Mongolia, right, 6 to 7 years ago, I went to the Gobi Desert, and most of the things that you guys are seeing here, right, I have no idea that they existed. It's only after going back to Mongolia several times, then I start to understand and realize that there's actually still so many fascinating things to witness in Mongolia, such as the reindeer herders, the eagle hunters. It's completely mind blowing. Yeah. So, like I mentioned earlier on, having been to Mongolia, I mean, I stopped counting when I've been to Mongolia more than 20 times, because there's just no point counting anymore. I still haven't. I mean, the country is so big. There's still some places that I haven't discovered, and there's still so many more places to discover in Mongolia. And I highly urge you guys to explore this country before it becomes too commercialized, because we really don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years, man. Yeah. So that's Mongolia in a nutshell. The rest is for you to come over and experience yourself.
And to me, I think Mongolia is a breath of fresh air, like not so much just because it's really naturally gifted, the air there is really fresh, but it's more so because we are city dwellers and we are always living such a fast-paced, stressful life. Like Mongolia is really a breath of fresh air where you can just go there and just disconnect from the digital world, disconnect from the fast-paced life that we have as urbanites. So I think that for me is a big draw of Mongolia. And the land itself is really vast. Like what Scott says, different parts of Mongolia, right, really have different things to offer and different experiences for you to experience and see and go and do, and these are experiences that you don't normally see in most other countries.
Wow.
So I think Mongolia is very interesting in that sense, and very culturally culturally rich as well, because the people there, like what Scott said, is very hospitable. Like during the Gobi trip, right, I remember one incident really, really like clearly in my head. Like it was starting to rain. Our van got stuck in the mud. Like not only did they allow us to stay in their gers, which is a really small space, is essentially their home. Like, and there are 10 over packs from our group. So we just went in and they allowed us to stay in, and they were out in the rain. That's how hospitable they are, and they go to the extent of helping you rescue your vehicle even. So to me, I feel that it's very humbling when I go to Mongolia. Like these people, they are not the most they don't have much. They are not the most developed nation, but yet they are so full of soul, full of character, full of hospitality, full of life. So I think going to Mongolia is a very humbling experience experience for me to, just reflect and be happy with what I have and be thankful with what I have in life so far. So I think Mongolia has that spiritual what do you call that, takeaway as well when you go to Mongolia. And the way they respect the land and respect environment is also something that I think we all should learn from as well. Yeah.
Wow, great, wonderful. While you are sharing, right, I really can see the picture about it. I just now Melvin has shared, right? Everybody is like, I believe our audience here, if you are like me, right, in the dream of going into Mongolia already, right, in this CB, right, please type yes. So like I'm in the dreamland right now. Okay, all right. So I think what Henry have said is have shared, right, is really like it really actually wake up my mind as well that because recently I just read an article. It's very ironical that, right, the people like we have, right, in the city, we thought that we are like the first class citizens, and yet, like we they donate money, but yet they treat people that is like like the lower class people, like like disrespect, despite how much money they have donated, right, but they still treated a person like that, right. I don't think that deserve a respect as well. And actually what you shared, right, have inspired me also, because this is something that I feel that we don't need a lot of like materials or resources, things like that. Just be present and be grateful for what we have, as long as we have shelter over the head, and be kind people. That's very, very important for all walks of people from all walks of life. That is the one that we deserve for more respect as well. Thank you for sharing this, and actually remind us to be grateful and to cherish what we have, especially this beautiful environment, that we have. Cool. And I realized that, right.
Yeah, and Mongolians are also like, I've never met with any Mongolians that really never smile. Like they are really generally very positive people. So like that is something that I really love.
Is it because of their big cheekbones? That's why you feel like you're smiling.
Yeah, they're rosy cheeks.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is that the reason they have rosy cheeks? Then we don't need to do the blushes, red blushes. Yeah, because it's just be kind people, right? Yeah. Okay, so I also realized that beyond expedition, sports for you is that not just going to Mongolia, you also bring people, right, to Ladakh, India, and Kazakhstan, which is what you have been sharing as well. So is that what? And also Henry in the photo, is that the middle one is Henry, huh? Yeah. It's so fun, doing this thing, Okay, so maybe we can start with Scott. What's the reason you choose these locations? Very exotic.
Okay, so there's definitely some personal reasons why I selected these three countries. I mean, for Ladakh, it will be region of India. So Mongolia, as I explained earlier on, I was overwhelmed and personally triggered in a good way of the sense of autonomy that I felt when I was there. And for Ladakh, right, I actually went there for I think 4 times already. And every time when I visited this place, it always gives me the same feeling of goodness, and the people are just so humble and really caring for the tourists. So having visited India for I think more than 10 times as well, I have been to different states, and I know, sad to say, most Indians that has helped me to solve certain.
All right. Hi, Scott. Hello. Okay. Wow. Scott is like
It's frozen up.
Frozen.
That's like indicative of the frozen expedition.
I think internet is inspired by Scott's like inspiration also. Hey, you're back.
Frozen
come back.
expedition. That's why it's frozen.
Come back to our Facebook Live. Don't go to Ladakh first.
Yeah. So I was saying, for Ladakh, right, it was because of the people and the energy over there, which is very, very positive. And the people who helped me has never wanted anything in return at the end of the day. They really helped me because they truly care for me in a genuine manner. That's why I was attracted by the people of this region. And that's also the reason why I wanted to bring more people over to this region to experience the goodness of what the country has to offer. And last but not least will be Kazakhstan. This country is really incredible as well on its own, because can you imagine, Kazakhstan is about 1.5 to 2 times bigger than the size of Mongolia, and there are more than 130 nationalities or ethnicity living in this country after the post-Soviet Union. So when you're there, if you're a foodie, you definitely get to enjoy delicacy from like this 130, more than 130 nationalities. Yeah, it's an amazing place. And the landscape is almost similar like Mongolia. It's vast. It's just extreme in terms of climate as well. So you experience 4 seasons. There's so many things to discover. And pretty much same like Mongolia, you can just drive anywhere you want, okay, except some protected regions. And then you just select your favorite spot and pitch your tent and just sleep there for God knows how many months or years, and no one will just bother you. So this also tells us that it also encompasses the same sense of autonomy when you're there. Yeah.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. It's like, wow, very peaceful. And I think this experience, right, usually we saw in the movie but we hardly experienced that. I really think that we should go to those places to experience it. It's very hard to describe. I understand that, right? So Henry, how about you yourself? Like, you've been to those places. What is the most memorable experience to you?
I think we shared a lot about Mongolia already, so I probably share about Ladakh. That was my first time in a city that is average about 3,000 over kilometers above sea level, right? If I never remember wrongly.
The highest we went,
3,000 meters.
1,000 something.
No, that's the city area is about 3,000 plus, and then the highest motorizable road was about 5,000 meters above sea level. So like that, the altitude itself, right, is quite a challenge for some of us. Yeah, because the higher you go, the less oxygen, and then you will be at risk of altitude sickness. And I think one memorable moment was when we were halfway through to the highest motorizable road, and then we were at this I forgot whether it was those were huts, right?
Well, it's
like
tented camps.
Yeah, tented camps lah. So we were at this like campsite, trying to rest for the day, and then I just started feeling discomfort, and then I had to depend on the oxygen tank for a while. So that was quite a moment for me. I have never really tried like pure oxygen. I have to say that pure oxygen is really very good. It's really very, very like, I don't know how to describe that feeling. Like, it's really pretty addictive. Yeah.
Wow.
And then we went to a lot of like naturally gifted places with a lot of views. Like we went up to the 5,000 point overlooking I forgot what lake that is called. Yeah, but there's a lake there that's pretty wide where they filmed the tree.
It's Pangong Lake.
Actually, what's the movie called?
Read it.
Ah, Pangong Lake. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's really nice, like that.
Wow. That's very, very interesting, because we kind of like, most of the travelers, right, would not like really want to challenge themselves to go above like sea level so much. And I personally have experienced altitude mountain sickness before this. It's really no joke, right? Yeah, it's like I got massive headache and things like that. So has to be cautious of that as well, right? But I believe that Scott, you will actually give your travelers some advice and get them to have some precautions measure for that, right?
That's for sure, man.
Yeah, correct. Definitely, it worth the journey as well, because I think both the like 5,000 meter, the scenery is definitely very, very beautiful, because it's like untouched, right, by the human, correct?
I mean, if you talk about Everest Base Camp, then that's a different question.
Oh yeah, correct. But it's closed now also. Yeah.
Not untouched. Yeah.
Try a bit now. So basically, I'm quite curious about what's your perspective, right, about this new normal people have been talking, right, in this travel industry after COVID-19. Do you think there will be a mad rush of travelers like going for traveling? Because like based on what Henry had mentioned, right, like the scenery will become like a reset, become more beautiful, because like there's lack of lesser CO2 emissions and less pollutions. Do you see a mad rush on that? Scott's, maybe you share first.
Yeah, so I think the answer to this question, right, comes in different. There are many answers to this question, and it really depends on when this pandemic will be over, because we really don't know when is this gonna drag on to. And what I'm trying to say is, if this prolongs, right, it also means the amount of time people spend at home is much longer than usual. And the amount of opportunities people get to actually travel out of the country will be very little as well. So it kind of creates a kind of habit in people, because they don't see the need or rather they are forced to adapt to this new way of life, which is to stay at home more often than before. And because businesses are also either stopping or reducing traffic flow, this also means there's lesser. We will see the trend of going down in terms of people traveling overseas for work. And I would say this is definitely going to impact and change the way we travel. There's definitely going to be a group of people which they are so eager to travel out of the country to get back into nature again. There's also going to be other groups of people whereby they just sort of get used to staying at home and maybe even indulging in the VR travel experience as much as it can never level to the real way of travel, which is being on the ground. But I don't know, man. With the advancement in technology, I can't say much if I can't judge the effectiveness of and capabilities of VR. You see, so I would say for me myself, I find that traveling is not just getting to a destination. Is about it's a way of life. You see, and it doesn't mean that which I'm trying to say is you don't have to really take a plane to a destination and then you term it as traveling. It comes in different form in terms of the values, the mindset, and the things you talk about, the way you think. So it's really not just a plane ticket and then hopping onto the plane. Yeah.
Right. So Henry, what do you think about this?
I think for me, traveling, like I shared just now, like traveling, seeing the world, going overseas, right? This is one of humans' best experience. So I think in terms of people wanting to get out there, wanting to explore the world, right? It will never change. People will still want to travel. But I think in the short term, right, we'll see a decline in demand because people are not confident, not sure whether COVID is entirely eradicated, especially for the fact that a vaccine hasn't been found. So I think people will be a little less travel crazy in the short term, in the next 2 to 5 years maybe, depending on when the vaccine will be found. So I think in the short term, definitely a lot of people will be traveling less. And even if we travel, right, the way we travel and the destinations that we look out for may differ a lot as well. Like there are a lot already reports of people saying that in the future when we are allowed to fly, there will be social distancing on the plane. We might be mandated to wear masks. We may not be able to go to certain destinations. So traveling sense will definitely be impacted. But I think in the longer term, like 10, 20 years later, like it will eventually get back to where we've seen travel before, to the 2019 levels. So I think eventually we will get back there. But in the short term, it will definitely be impacted.
Right. Agree. I agree with what just now, like what Henry and Scott you all mentioned also. There's actually a rising concern that people might like just indulge in esports or even VR, or even like, hey, why do travel? We can always like stay at home. Don't see a need for that. Yet there's actually another side of people. Like they actually see travel as different thing, and I would love to experience it. Because but based on what you share, right, like it's totally different thing. It's like the culture, the environment, the humility, the values, are totally different. That I believe that in long terms wise, right, people will still go back to travel, because human like us, like we always like have like we like to go to new places, like the nomad, right? People, I mean, like we all start from like our ancestor time is like nomad, right? So I don't think that will stop us now. Yeah, great.
I want to make one
Yeah, I
point.
think traveling will still be a global hobby. It will never go down to a point where traveling is totally eradicated. So I think eventually in the long term it will come back.
Right. Scott, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying, I just want to make one point to what we are discussing over here, because I think it links back to the topic of our conversation of today's session, which is the purpose of travel. So I think for this question that you posed, right, Evelyn, I think it's very important for each of us to ask ourselves, what is the purpose of us traveling, because for some people, like I mentioned earlier on, it can be just hopping on a bus, going for a sightseeing tour. And all this group of consumers, right, who knows, they can be converted into another group of consumers who end up staying at home and enjoying VR experiences, because VR probably will be able to meet their demands of sightseeing tours, you see. So we really won't know unless we start to ask questions like, what is the purpose of traveling after this pandemic?
Right. Yeah. Correct. Like different people
And the
have
cost of
different
traveling, I
perspectives.
think, sadly, in the short term will rise because of the lack of I mean, airlines are dropping like flies recently, and there are a lot of places like Airbnb impacted. The hospitality industry is impacted. So I think in the short term, in terms of traveling costs, it will be impacted definitely as well.
Right. So let's also embrace
Yeah.
that also, because sometimes things not within our control. No, but I believe that like as human, we will definitely will overcome this with a positive mindset. Right.
Mm.
Yeah. So one more interest. That's why when tap into what Scott have mentioned, what's the purpose of traveling? Also depends on what's the purpose of the person's travel as well. Which I want to show about
Mm.
the travel with cause, which is something that Beyond Expedition, Scott, Henry, yourself actually have shown and did for the charity work as well. So I think
Yeah.
one thing that you actually did well, right, is that you actually like bring people, right, who want to travel with purpose of doing a great cause together, bring them together.
Mm.
So we have this like you actually did for like the 1,000 km walk with the Gobi Desert at Gobi Desert for raise fund for Cancer Society. I think that's
Yeah.
very good cause, and actually I can see that actually there's a lot of people doing that in a recent year. There's a lot of people like go be desert or walk to raise some causes to inspire people, and that's very courageous. So maybe Scott, can you share more about like what get you started with this? Because Gobi Desert is an extreme environment, and you are bringing so many people go there. How do you manage all this risk, and how do you like inspire people to go there as well?
Well, I think this whole concept of bringing people on board to walk this journey with me, uh, to withstand the brutal Gobi heat, of course, which can be more than 40 degrees Celsius in temperature, came about when I actually completed my personal 800 kilometers trek back in 2017 in Gobi Desert as well, to raise funds for SCS, Singapore Cancer Society. So one day after the trip, I just came back feeling more pumped and inspired, and I was thinking on how can I actually create more awareness for the cause of cancer and raise more funds, because by doing it alone, right, I can only do this much, because I only know this group of people, and how far can I go, you see, if I'm all alone. I mean, there's a saying lah, they always say um, um, uh, if you are alone, you can go fast, but you can't go far, you see. That's why I thought, okay, let me form a holistic team, get a couple of cancer survivors, which will be inspiring figures, and also open this team to cancer caregivers, as well as the public who is passionate about this cause. So I formed a team of 19 of us, including myself, and then we went back to Gobi Desert, and we were really blessed that we actually raised a more than 72,000 Singapore dollars for SDS, and that after the completion of this trip, right, or this campaign, that got me more pumped to set out on our second journey, which is back to Mongolia, to experience minus 40 degrees Celsius with cancer survivors and caregivers, to continue raising much needed funds for them. Yeah. So it was really a hell of an experience. It was really inspiring and motivating. And this is something that I never thought I would organize, but eventually somehow I did it, and it was satisfying. I don't think it will be forgettable. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I think also, I
yeah,
think
I'm
Henry.
happy
Yeah,
that
sorry.
Henry embarked this with us. And he actually, when I pitched this idea to him, that I'm going to do this for the first time, getting cancer survivors on board, I didn't know he would be down for it. And I'm really amazed and fortunate lah. Yeah. So thanks, bro.
Henry,
No
how
worries.
about share your thoughts about your experience? Like, what's the reason that make you be part of it? Aside that, no, Scott's your no travel buddy, your brother, huh? Yeah.
Firstly, I think this trip is pretty inspiring because of all the people who went. They all feel passionate for the cancer cause, or they are very passionate individuals for travel and for the different things that they believe in lah. So like through being able to mix around with these people, right, I think I learned a lot. And firstly, this trip, right, we all love to travel. So I think it satisfies that part of us. And if we are going to spend that amount of money to travel as anyway, why not use this amount of money to, you know, create awareness for cancer and raise funds and actually do some very tangible good for cancer survivors lah, and cancer warriors, people who are still fighting cancer. So I think that's one. Like the trip itself will inspire more people to be aware of the cancer cause and more people to understand what cancer survivors and patients are going through, and also to inspire cancer survivors themselves. To when I think someone contract with cancer, right? I think they will feel like, oh my God, is this the end for me? They will lose hope. They will lose the belief of being able to have a fulfilling life, to be able to live life to the fullest, you know. So when they see people like Elil, where like the other cancer survivors walk through Gobi Desert, walk through the taiga frozen region, I think it will also inspire all the cancer patients to believe in the fact that, hey, despite having cancer, I can still unshackle myself from the disease and live a full life. So I think that itself is a very strong message that I connected with, and I think that I wanna help Scott do that. So this is why I fell in love with the idea and really hopped on board straight away lah.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's very, very inspiring. I once chanced upon like some cancer patients. They're really in the state of miserably and also suffering and a lot of negativity. They really, really need like positive people like you're what you're doing, right, to inspire them, to tell them not to. It's really, really the mental obstacles that they have to go overcome that as well. And what you're doing, right, I think you actually inspire like young people like us that, you know, we have the energy, the passion right now at the stage of what we can do more to the society. Why not put it at a good cause and go through this challenging environment as well to inspire more people.
Yeah, and I also got some friends who ask me the questions of like, why don't you just donate the expedition costs to charity directly? Why do you want to go through this, put yourself through such harsh expeditions, and like why don't you just donate the amount of money? I feel that firstly, we all love to travel, so we are going to spend this money to travel anyway. And secondly, all our 3K to 5K combined road snowballed to a bigger figure of 72K. And I think the intangible benefit of spreading the awareness of the cancer cause, right, is also something that we cannot measure. So this is why I think a charity expedition like that, right, is really powerful lah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So for the audience over here, you know, if you really, you know, like inspired by what they have shared and really like to, you know, explore this charity expeditions, you know, like in your life to add values to the society, you know, please type, you know, charity expedition so that we know that, you know, like you are also in this great cause. I'd like to support on this great cause, you know, for this as well. So Scott, what's you have any upcoming charity expedition soon?
Yeah, it's actually supposed to happen this coming August in Kazakhstan, which we will be raising funds for Singapore Cancer Society again. But then we have to postpone it, unfortunately. And this time now we are looking for the next charity expedition to happen somewhere during February 2021. So it's going to be back in Mongolia again. And this time around we'll be walking and camping and doing whatever stuff on a frozen lake, Mongolia's largest lake, at the extreme temperature of minus 40 degrees Celsius or even colder than that. So very much looking forward to it. And of course, Henry is coming together as well with us. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of challenges to surmount together, because we will be on this ice, this frozen lake, for approximately 8 to 9 days, walking on it, cooking our food on this ice, sleeping on it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. And this is the exact lake which I kayaked last summer. So it's gonna be something that's very memorable to me, and I'm truly looking forward to it, to be back to this lake again.
Wow, based on I see the photo, I'm really like very impressed by it. I'm not sure like how are we going to walk on it. Probably going to dance on it as well. Yeah, I really I would love to explore this. I never been to like walk on the frozen lake.
Join us.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, audience, we must get the audience to join us as well. All right, for the audience, if you want to join us, right, you know, like join me, join Scott, join Henry. Okay, I will see. You know, okay, for this meaningful trip, right, to give, inspired, and make a difference to people's life. Please type charity expedition. All right, so we will follow up with you and share you more information. This is really amazing. I'm very, very looking forward. Yeah, Scott, I will definitely will check out with you about this as well.
Check out or join.
Um,
Don't think about it
all
already.
right, I have my audience here to witness. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we will keep in touch after this. Yeah. Okay, Chibun come join us also. All right, so next up we actually have like oh, actually Lydia have some requests over here. I saw that. Right, did you guys reach the? Oh yes, did you? So Lydia is a very good friend of mine. So she actually we did the promo video. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you all seen that. She was sharing, right? Got two hunks. So how can you all like show your two packs? Yeah. So for the audience, two packs. Will you be want to show? Will you all want to show?
What's 2 packs? You mean chess? Oh.
Only Scott has it. Mine is a flat United Nation.
Up
Give me
to you,
one.
all right.
I'll be like-
All right, so maybe we must make it tougher, right? Because too easy for them is not fun, Right, so please give us 50 likes, then I'll share this post 50 times, then we get them to show. Okay, so maybe I can take this chance, right? I would like to also shout out for Beyond Expedition because for the audience sake over here, because we have been sharing for so many amazing trips from Beyond Expedition. Maybe I do a quick shout out for Beyond Expedition. So Beyond Expedition, right, is actually a boutique travel agency that started by Scott over here. And also as he has really curate all the and tailor-made all the expeditions, right, to this beautiful and exotic destination in Mongolia, Ladakh, and Kazakhstan, also as you can see. So they work very closely to the locals, right? So to give you the full experience, right, of the wild beauty that you just saw, okay, and the culture and the people. And then, right, I love this quote, Scott's. Don't just travel, go beyond. Wow, those are very powerful words, huh? Right, so audience in the house, if you like to travel with Beyond Expedition, good news to you, because of Scott's generosity, right, he actually gave a $500 off a pair of ticket or $500 off voucher for his upcoming trips, right, for reindeer expeditions. Also based on after let's see how COVID-19 go and open up, right? And also to win this, you will need to like, tag, share, and tag 3 friends and comment. I want to travel in this Facebook chat box so that our staff can follow up with you. Okay. So Scott, do I miss out anything that you want to share?
You mean on an S lah on Beyond Expeditions. Expedition.
Oh, okay. So sorry. Yeah, typo. So sorry. Yeah, I will make it out for you with the S.
Beyond
Yeah, okay. My apology. Anything else other than that? Anything else that you want to share to the audience over here?
Well, I'll just share with everybody, especially during this challenging period, let's be more positive. And what was that? What happened?
No, just enlightenment bout came out.
Oh,
just now.
okay.
So sound effect for you.
Yeah. So yeah, let's look on the bright side of whatever that's happening during this period, especially, and don't get trapped in the vortex of negativity. And whenever we are feeling down, always know that things are gonna get better sooner or later. So instead of worrying about things are getting worse, just wipe that off your head, and because this just consuming too much of your energy, and there's no point to keep dwelling on all this negative stuff, man. There's so much more opportunities and possibilities and ideas for us to manifest. Why waste time and keep bouncing back to this pool of negativity. Time is very precious, so yeah, let's appreciate whatever time we have now, and always try your best. Of course, I know it's gonna be difficult, but try your best to live in the moment and be present. Yeah, that's
right.
what I have to share.
Thank you, Scott. Henry, how about you? Anything you want to share to the audience and some of your fans over here?
I think like what Scott said, let's not fall into that spiral and let yourself go all gloomy and dark and emo because of this entire COVID situation. Just look at the bright side. Like I always like to tell my friends that I don't know how and when we will come out from the COVID situation, but we will come out from the COVID situation. So meanwhile, just like take the time to self-improve, and even if you want to just take the time and do nothing, like go ahead and do it. We are in the middle of a pandemic, like this is not a competition suddenly where I have to become a chef overnight. I have to become a home gym expert overnight. Like it's not a competition. Like if you want to just chill and just have that time to yourself in this pandemic, right? Like, yeah, just do that and stay positive.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, bro. Yeah, doesn't mean everyone is cooking means we have to cook as well, right? And put it on social media for other people to see. We need to be totally accepted by others. You see, we do whatever that makes us happy. And we have to stay true to ourselves. That's the most important thing.
Right.
And I know we all are social creatures, so there are some people who really suffers from isolation. And if you need help, please really seek help, talk to a friend, and like really don't put yourself in that situation where you will just spiral down into a dark space.
Right. Very, very wise words to hear from both of you. And actually, I think this is actually one of the great chance for us, right, to really enjoy and be who we are and doing what we want to do, right? Because this is like a once in a decades kind of experience. Then we don't want to like experience this thing in a negative space, right? Because it sucks up a lot of energy. And I like what Scott said, Henry mentioned. I think it's very important to really surround ourselves with positive people, right, and a positive environment. It feels to me right now, right, that like with what Scott has shared and what you shared, going this trip. I mean, like going trips with beyond expedition is like like a charge out with positive energy because based on what they say, right, they definitely will attract like a lot of positive people as well. Right, so thank you very much for your sharing. And also, I want to take this chance like, to quickly share with our audience over here. And I want to share like some of the friends are still watching, like Tarini. Thank you for joining us. And Biraj, Chipboats, thanks for staying through as well. Yeah, if you have any questions, right, please ask us. Like please drop down there, chat box. And also because it's COVID-19, we also will share our care package to our members as well. All right, so during this COVID-19, we actually came up with some package, and we are very blessed, right, to have no Scots actually, right, for this episode, right, give us like some discount voucher for us to share with the audience and our members. All right, so other than that, right, you also once you all sign up, it's a small fee. Well, you got to have like redeem your care package, which with a virtual card, lifetime access with all the videos, cheat sheets. From the sports nights and tips, right? And also to get you going, like to plan for your next trip. We even have the 51 travel hacks cheat sheet that done by our team, like especially given values to you. And also, thank you to our sponsor, Patrice the Crowd, for giving us ice cream. You guys can also redeem some ice cream with a special rate for this to kill off the cabin fever. Yeah, and also we have support group as well. So for those who actually love to join us for the Beyond Expedition trip, right, please let us know. We will definitely follow up with you as well. Cool. And actually, right, I
$1,000
have
savings, guys.
Thank you. Actually, I wanted to ask you all these questions because you all have been sharing about like kindness, positivity, and things like that. But let me see whether I have other questions first. If not, I'm going to ask my final questions. They are very, very curious. Okay, all right. So while we're waiting for that, right, I actually want to ask this. You see, in this COVID-19, right, there are some people take it differently, right? So some people, like government actually come up with a lot of initiative, to give people like package grants and even masks. Yeah, but there are just people, right? They are, like complaining, like not enough, like why, like saying that they are not being under the privilege to, get all those grants and things like that. Right. So based on what you have shared, right? Whereas we also see another trend. There's a spike in donation. People are giving up rice package for the needy family, and people are donating funds and money. So I just want to hear from both of your perspective, right? This society actually need a lot more kindness. What's your take for this?
You want to go first?
I think by and large, like I don't want to live in this false sense of bubble where everything is perfect, but I think if you compare Singapore in this pandemic versus the rest of the world, I think we have a lot to be thankful for. So in terms of kindness, I think that by and large, the Singaporeans are pretty kind. Like I mean, if I would call this a shit hits the fan situation, where people where things are really quite bad. So and you see people coming out with movements, sewing masks for their neighbors, like tying sanitizers to lift handles, helping elderly who lives alone, sending food to them. I think there are a lot of people and a lot of kind-hearted people who are doing all these kind of things. So and I choose to believe that they are the majority of the Singaporean community. It's just that the tiny minority who are complaining are louder, So I choose to believe that by and large society is still quite kind lah, and I hope that we all continue to do that for as long as our society is going through this pandemic.
Right. Thank you for sharing. How about you, Scott? What do you think about this?
That's a very nice sharing, Henry. So I would like to take this opportunity to also thank all this generous and caring group of people in Singapore who actually sacrifice, or rather put in their time and effort to go around houses and distributing food, to help those less fortunate. And I think, being a keyboard warrior online is so easy because it just takes a few seconds or a few minutes to actually type out all these hate messages. But I just want to say it's really admiring to see people on the ground out there distributing food, because they don't just talk, you see. They really put the talks into action, and they make it happen, and they don't complain. So I think this is a really admirable and respected things to witness lah, that's happening in Singapore, of course, globally as well. And I mean, not to put this negative keyboard warriors to shame, I just feel that, if you are not contributing any good things to the society, just don't do anything wrong, because it's just gonna generate unnecessary hatred and more negativity, right? So rather than typing out
But
all
that
these,
being said, I think we should also understand people who seem to be complaining. I think we should also not just label them and say that all these people are just keyboard warriors. They are one kind, and we shouldn't validate them. I think some of them, right, they have really very real concerns, and they really come into hardship, or they really are struggling with the situation, and all they are trying to do is to find a way to care for their families or find a way to be able to survive this pandemic. So I think we have to also be careful to not just throw them into that basket and say that these people should just shut up and not say anything, Yeah.
That's right. So back to my point, which I was sharing, right? My suggestion is, instead of voicing out whether things are being unfair or unjust, of course, not referring to the group that Henry has shared. Why not, be out there on the ground and help those who are already, advocating for all these rights and actually doing the right thing. Instead of complaining, saying that, things are not sufficient and stuff like that. Like people, like government should do more job, do more work to get things moving. If sometimes it just comes down to having too many expectations. I feel if someone is not doing anything, like the government is not doing anything, then why not do it yourself? Form a group and go down on the ground and make some positive change, rather than sitting back and feeling so sour and blame the government. We all can make a change ourselves, right? Don't always have to depend on the government, right?
Yes.
Yeah, totally agree with that. Yeah, so
and I think these people
sharing.
are spending and I think these people are spending doing great things versus spending time behind a keyboard fighting all these seemingly unjust policies. So I think we should be like these people, to really just go on the ground and make a change and difference to the places where you think are lacking, rather than just making a lot of noise.
Yeah, totally agree that. To sum up, I guess what you're sharing is like to have more empathy, have more humility to what people has been through. And then I think if everybody give right into like to what we have right to the society, instead of just thinking about taking, right? This I mean like we could have go through all the crisis right smoothly. I think this is just not in Singapore, and I think worldwide right is having going through this situation as well. Actually, we have one more last questions in the house. What do you think of a high-end value traveling and adventure traveling in upcoming days? Wow, this is like a interesting question. Would like to see what's your take.
High-end
My friend
value.
from Nepal. So I met him twice when I was in Nepal, even recent January during my recent trip to Nepal.
Oh, hi! You have a friend here. Cool. So what's your take about this? What is this? I'm wondering what is this high-end value? Is it like luxury kind of traveling? Yeah, I'm just wondering. What's your thoughts about this? What's the difference? What do you think about it?
Yeah,
I mean,
what's the definition of high-end value traveling?
luxurious travel, yeah.
I guess it means it's luxurious, luxury travel.
Resorts and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, he said yes. Yeah, correct.
Mm,
Yes.
I think luxurious traveling, right, is something that probably I mean I may be wrong, but like would probably still be thriving because people who have the money to spend, right, like no matter what social distancing measures you put in place, whatever, however the ticket prices go up, however the market turns, right, they can still afford to do it, you know. So I think high-end value traveling, right, is really a matter of whether they still feel safe with traveling because the money was to be spent if they feel so, and they will still go. So I think high-end value traveling is really more of the question of whether they feel it's safe to travel, and once they feel that and have that confidence to travel, right, I think they will spend. But when it comes to adventure traveling, I think it will be a different ball game lah. Because adventure traveling, right, is a lot of like traveling to raw places or places with lesser amenities, places where it's less safe, so to speak. So in this climate, I'm not so sure if adventurers wanna be taking that risk. So I think I do see the potential there for the adventure traveling market to be heavy hit lah.
Mm.
Oh, all right. Thanks for sharing. How about you, Scott? What do you think about this?
I feel that high-end value traveling, right? This is a kind of a lifestyle, or rather a kind of habit, it's habitual that this group of consumers have. Are used to traveling this way. So, like what Henry mentioned, they have the money, and they will still continue this lifestyle, this way of traveling. Uh, if the 6 stars hotels are still intact, and they manage to survive after the pandemic. And same goes to I think for adventure traveling, right? There's more. I feel that there's more potential in adventure traveling in the upcoming days, despite the despite the like what Henry mentioned about climate change, for example, like global warming, because adventure travel basically means you can just, for example, take a backpack, go out in the wilderness, make your own food, set up a tent, all by yourself, or just in pairs, or just with a small group of friends. You can just do it in Mongolia, for example, or somewhere um, vast where there's not many people, and you don't really need to stay in a hotel or guest house. Even if you talk about real adventure traveling, which means even with this pandemic, right, businesses like hotels and guest house wouldn't be in the way, because like you're sitting in a tent, man. You can pitch anywhere you want, as long as the country doesn't come up with new preventive measures to stop travelers from doing certain things. You see, so it's how we see adventure traveling in different forms. If it's kept to a small group, I think there's potential for it. Yeah, that's my take on it, lah.
All right. So, wow, thank you for sharing. Yeah, Viraj got this answered. Yeah, you got answered. So, yeah, this relay. This is Chipo have a question. This relay by life from SCS and only where we can do all the work. Yeah. So I guess Chipo also know about this relay for life thing. Yeah, Chipo, you should really join check out Scott and Henry. They actually have contributed a lot for this initiative as well. Yeah, I've been following them as well. Okay, great. Okay, so because of time constraint, I think time has passed so fast. It's like 2 hours is gone. I think this is a very good sharing with y'all, and I guess our audience love it as well. That we can see a lot of engagement as well. Yeah, we love all the insights that you have shared. So thank you so much, guys, for sharing today. And now let me also just do a quick shout out for everybody's as well. Thank you for all your thank you for watching this, and I saw my sister also watching this as well. Probably she's a big fan of Henry also. So thank you so much for your time. Okay, so allow me to actually send you to the backstage first, whereby I can shout out for the next event. Okay, next episode. Thank you guys. Have stay safe and stay
Thank
healthy.
you guys.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Thanks for listening. See you guys.
Thank you. All right, so thank you all for joining us for this 2 hour because it's a special edition, and that's why it's like not our usual timing for 1 hour. And I hope you really gain a lot of insights from these two great travelers, like handsome guys, right, like Scott and Henry. Okay, so a quick shout out for our next episode. Right, our next episode will go back to it's Friday. It's gonna be the last week of May. All right, we saw that in different parts of the world, right? Like a lot of businesses have started to resume their operation at this period. And in Singapore, circuit breaker is going to phases. Maybe in Malaysia, it's gonna like, I mean, like they predicted it's like ended on 9 June. But I think sports business will not be open so quickly, especially in Singapore's government saying that it's gonna open in phase 2, which we don't know which date yet. So we'll bring you back to the wall, and I have invited these two giants from the climbing industry. Okay, one from the Rock School from Singapore, and the other one is Camp 5. Both of their businesses are actually heavily being hit. Okay, because they have more than one branch of the climbing gym. And also, one big news is that the Olympic, right, climbing sports this year was supposed to be their first debut. Right, but because of COVID-19, it got postponed. So what does it mean to the climbing community, and what does it mean to the climbing athletes as well? All right, so come and join us. Because both of them actually have done a different creative measures to engage their audience. Which I heard already, it's like mind blowing to me. All right, so I know that it's not easy, but they did it. Okay, if you look to find more, please mark your calendar down. All right, on next Friday, 8 p.m. on Facebook Live, and we're very blessed to have them to give us some special giveaway. One of it is like the free gym passes. If you love it, please share with your friends. If you want to win it, come and join us. All right, so I want to wish everybody have a good weekend at night. Like tonight, and also tomorrow for Malay community. Selamat Hari Raya. All right, so have a great weekend, and I wish everybody stay safe, stay strong, and take good care of yourself. Okay, bye.